back to my channel. If you're in for a treat today, because today is my time-lapse art video of my updated model. It will probably be of no surprise, but after working on the rigging for my recent model, I had decided to kind of start over a little bit because there were some errors that I made in my art that I wanted to fix, and this was the way that I thought about fixing it, was to just start over, make a whole new model, whole new kind of like vibe with the model too, a little bit more character design. So this is the half of a time lapse of her because I had only started the time-lapse about halfway through finishing her, and I'll explain why during my little yap session while you see the time-lapse. But I hope that you enjoy, and I'll talk to you in a minute over voiceover, or as I'm saying, over yap over. Welcome to the yap over of my first timeline for my model. So during this time of model making, I had started the time-lapse on the corset part. So I was trying to figure out how to best make a little bit more of like the boning design of the corset. And so I used a few multiply layers, and I wanted to draw in these like bows that get sewn onto the corset, and the zipper details actually does have the full-on like zipper details. Like you'll see it like stay on this for a little bit, but that's because I'm zooming in on the iPad and creating the exact little details that are needed, which once I start rigging on this updated model, I'm going to show all of the little minute details that I was adding to this. And I wanted to do a little bit more like necromancer type vibes, because as I was looking at Nekomatas, they are believed to have necromancer abilities and are associated with like fire abilities, which is kind of what I incorporated my blue flame obsession into characters for, which was really lucky that it worked out for that. And also with the design, Nekomatas are kind of known to create illusions and lure people into their grasp, which is kind of why I gave my model these like dimmed angel wings, to try and bring that illusion of when you see her, she doesn't scream trickster or the illusion of evil, I guess. Even though I don't think Nekomatas are evil, but I was just kind of looking at what the folklore said. So I had done a lot of the minor details in the bow design and kind of like neck collar design, because there is a big bow behind her that ties into that. And I had played around with the ear placement because originally I was going to do downturned ears, but then I had maybe thought, oh, maybe I'll do like straight up and then off to the side, and I had created a pole for those ears, which the off to the side ears had one, and I wanted to put in some flame ears to the design, since I really wanted to incorporate that blue flame all over. I had started working on the leg details, which is I had aimed for an asymmetrical style, which I had preferred, and I had completely redone the tail, so I wanted a little bit more cohesive blue flame art style instead of kind of like a little bit more choppier, which I had realized was a little bit more of an unintentional style design from my first attempt at updating my base model. And so I just kind of started over. I did 2 different colors on the tails just because honestly I liked that. And then for the feet and the shoes, I'm not great at drawing like toes nose. It's something that I need to work on, which I plan to do as I start creating other artwork for my model, because I really want to try to make a one of those like what is it called? It's like it's at the end of some VTuber videos where they have the animated drawing illustration. I really want to figure out how to make one of those for myself for the end of YouTube videos, but that's a work after rigging. But so for the shoes, I had kind of started over. I wanted a little bit more gothic boot style, and I did put over these like boot leg covers that also I felt like went in with the style a little bit more, with the like ripped up socks, the kind of like wrap around the knee, and the little like garnet hanging. I don't know if that's called a garnet, the little like leg strap. I wanted it to just kind of look a little bit better. So then after I'd finished that, I'd started working on the ears a little bit more. I wanted to add little like flame tips to the ears and fix up the ear inner fire, because I want to also try to make the animation in the rigging step, which will be really fun to figure out. And then the next little bit that we'll be seeing is me figuring out the hair. I wanted the calico hairstyle to come through a little bit more, which was coming through really well on my previous model, but I felt like I needed a little bit more, like with my natural hair, it's like a little bit more curly, wavy, so I really wanted to put that into my my model a little bit more, because I'm putting a lot of myself into her. And so you're going to be seeing me update, and I decided to remove the braids from the little pigtails because I wasn't quite sure if it would incorporate well, and I broke it out by, instead of doing it by like bangs, middle section, and longer hair, I had convinced myself that working on it with colors separated will make the process a little bit quicker, and overall I do not think that helped at all. I did at one point forget a section of blue on the pigtails, so I had to go back anyways for them, but here I'm also not good with hands, but I tried my best, so you would have seen the like cut back and forth on them. I also made the hands blue, and I made the hands blue because I have Raynaud's, which just makes me cold all the time, and my hands like will sometimes look blue, or like my partner calls them death hands. So I wanted to incorporate that into my model because she's a necromancer, so you would think along with necromancer, at least for me, I think along the lines of like death hands, like something that incorporates that. So I thought that would be really good. And at one point I do try to debate on if I wanted to put gloves on my model, which I ended up not putting gloves on her because one, I felt too lazy, two, I kind of like how I never wear gloves, so I just really wanted to make her a version of me that I really loved, and loved the style, the design choices, something that I would inspire in my mind to be if real, you know? So that's what I really wanted to convey with her, and so here I'm working on the little bits of color sections, and so you'll see the hair a lot. The hair probably took me maybe like 3-4 days to work on, because I was doing it after work, I was working on it over the weekend, I was taking breaks so I didn't burn out, but it took a few days to finish it all, and I think I finished like Saturday the 23rd, 2nd at like 8 p.m. I had finished her all, and I don't remember exactly when I started her. Maybe I should look back at that and figure out when I had originally started the new model to kind of get a timeline of how long it took. Oh, something that I wanted to mention as we're just watching me work on the hair little by little, so the time lapse isn't going to like update as drastically as it has been in the past. I had decided to invest in a completely art dedicated tablet because my original tablet was struggling with not crashing all the time. I had originally tried to start a time-lapse video when I had started her, but it kept crashing. It kept running into a lot of issues to where I spent like 4 hours one morning just trying to clean up the tablet to remove it from sharing storage with some of my other devices. So I had completely decided that I was going to invest in a completely art dedicated, VTuber dedicated tablet, and so that's kind of why the time lapse starts with some of the art already done, is because a lot of it was done on the old tablet, and then a portion of it, like the wings itself, was done because I had forgotten to turn on the time lapse, and I was also still getting used to the tablet itself and drawing on it and figuring out exactly what I wanted it to look like, so like the model and the wings to look like. So that's kind of why I started the time lapse about halfway through, if you want to call this halfway through. But the shiny model, once I start on her, will start from the basic scratch. Like I'm going to keep the base the same, I'm going to keep the eyes the same. The tail I'm going to change to like a green flame, and the hair I'm going to change to like a green calico, just because the green is the vibe for this shiny model that you have been seeing in my past videos. So I want to try to keep that, but the hairstyle is going to be different. The outfit, for the shiny model, I had wanted to do something that's complete, like the opposite of a necromancer, and so after some brainstorming, I think, and I could be wrong, correct me if you, or put in suggestions on what you think the opposite of a necromancer is, because to me the opposite of a necromancer is like a priest or a priestess or something along the lines of like purifying the quote-unquote evil, which I don't think necromancers are evil. I was just kind of going with like the standard overall. If someone were to hear the word necromancer, where would their mindset go to? So the shiny model, once I start working on her, is going to be priestess themed, shrine maiden themed outfit. So I'm really excited because that was another outfit that I really wanted to tackle, and I was maybe thinking about making it for this model, but I really wanted to lean into the necromancer. So I really can't wait. I already started rigging on my new model, which that video will be coming out in like the next week. I do have to start from scratch, which is also kind of nice, that with my other model I had just kind of got into mostly the eyes and not like the full body and the full everything. So the start over isn't that much of like a pain, and the videos should be a lot quicker since I already have a lot more refreshed knowledge of what I want to have made and have the model look like and move. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys, and I'm sorry that there have been previous videos of the pre-debut that are with the older model, and I might still work on her a little bit because I do want to keep, I was thinking about the hoodie the Spirit Claw hoodie to be a toggle for this model. So you might see that pop up in the next little bit. I might have to do some minor art adjustments to that, but it's not progress lost, it's knowledge gained for updating the overall end goal is how I am looking at it. I also, in my time of updating the art itself and studying what exactly the art I want to have, is I was coming up with video ideas, and I've already talked about the shiny hunting in Pokemon, which I was thinking about doing a Aurora and Tyrant hunt, a Latios and Latios hunt, and then I really like Dynamax Adventures, so I was going to do some of those hunts. I already mentioned like Fields of Mystria. I might do like goals for future, like a PowerPoint version. Maybe talk about like dream artists to have a make model. Looking more at rigging and making videos of updated rigging to the models as I've learned more about it. I'm gonna have more time-lapse videos of models that I make. I might update my little creature too. I'm still trying to figure out a name for it, but I was thinking about updating that creature, having a toggle for it as well. I was thinking about doing a shiny Darkrai and Cresselia hunt, probably in Dynamax Adventures. I have the game date everything that crashed on me, so I had lost all progress, so I was thinking maybe I'll restart that and do like a playthrough. I really love the Hades run, the Hades game, so I was thinking about doing Hades like playthrough runs of both of them. I was thinking maybe to also do like Cobblemon videos, and maybe a little bit more with like try to find some friends to do some of those games with, or maybe do some collabs with friends for like the fun interactive games, because I've really had a lot of fun playing like Content Warning or The Company, or I really like watching Repo playthroughs with friends, so I was thinking maybe trying to figure that out in the future and have some fun, but we shall see. If anyone has any game suggestions or video suggestions, or just something that they'd like to see, if you want to leave that in the comments, I will take a look, and it'll help me plan with like what to do to not get stuck in like a rut, because I think I've said this before, but I started wanting to get into VTubing in like 2024, and then I kind of overwhelmed myself, so I'm trying not to overwhelm myself and to learn from like my past self on what I want for my VTubing. So if you have any helpful suggestions, let me know of what would be nice to have. I'm also going to kind of fix my Twitch channel. So I had started streaming, like I had streamed in the past, like, oh gosh, what was it, 2022 maybe? I started streaming, and I didn't have a VTube model during that time, but I wanted to fix up my channel to represent my VTubers, so I'm hoping to do that soon. It doesn't necessarily mean that I will start streaming anytime soon, because like I've said in a past video, my partner and we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I don't want to have that noise overlap, so it might be like 2 years I start streaming, but I can envision streaming in the future. But I would like to have that all set up for when it is done, so I will probably include that in one of my videos once it's all set up and it looks how I want it to, because I want to fix all of the like the style I have for it. it. But that's a down the line. That is not a major priority for me. My major priority is getting my model done and shiny hunting and getting videos out there and building a community, because that's what I want to do, to have fun and to provide joy. So yeah. As you're watching this time lapse, you're probably wondering why there's so many floating pieces or why there's so many disconnected pieces. I have an idea of how I want the hair to move, and I'm hoping that this is the correct process. I've looked up like the layering and cutting of what the hair should be. So we're gonna figure out if that's correct on this. I'm a very much do something and learn as I go person, and learn from my mistakes, because I don't think mistakes are something to like harp on, or they're just something to learn from. And so that's what I'm really wanting to have for this. As I've said in the past, every little learning process is really appreciated. And here I'm going back to fix. Sorry, I need to fix my thought. I forgot the blue on this middle section for whatever reason, probably because I was hiding it and had just like skipped over as I did my middle section. So I had to go back and forth on this, and it was a little bit irritating, and I was cursing my past self for doing this. But it all worked out at the end, and I'm really happy with how my updated model turned out, and I really hope that you like her. And I can't wait to have her done. And she is my big focus right now. As I need breaks from rigging, I'll work on my shiny model, but finishing up her is the major focus for me right now. Ooh, wasn't that fun? I hope that you have enjoyed that, and are patient with me as we go through this VTuber rigging journey. And I know it's probably like, why did you start over? You were already doing so much with the other model. And it's because I really want to have my VTuber be everything that I want her to be. And I just hope that you're patient with me as I go through this. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do. But I'm just excited, as you can tell from every time I've said excited. But stay tuned, because my shiny model will also be getting an update, and I will record the full time lapse of that. So see you soon.